Hi everyone, happy Monday and welcome to the new channel. So my name is Michelle, for those of you that are new to the Kits and Caboodles channels now. There's probably going to be a lot of you that come over from my other channel, which is mostly coloring and like craft based. And so to you and to the people that happen upon this channel, welcome. I decided to create another channel for gaming, which is a one of my top hobbies in my life. And originally the plan was to do all of my hobby related videos on one channel, but I thought it might be better for everyone if I just split them out. So that's what we're going to do. So yes, welcome. This is the first video on the channel, and this is the first video in this particular series for this game. This is Creativerse. I really love this game. I keep coming back to it, and it's a lot of fun. And I wanted to do kind of a, I don't know, tutorial starting out series on it. You can definitely see quite a few of them on YouTube because this game's been around for a while, but of course over time the game does change, so it's always nice to kick off with another fresh start to see if there's any new goodies to be had. So Creativerse is available on Steam, which is, for some of you that are not super familiar with gaming, a gaming platform where you can purchase a number of games. It was started in 2017 and it's still frequently updated. They do have a content team that still works to develop content for it and updates. It does have an active community. It is kind of an adventure building crafting RPG game. If you are a fan of Minecraft, it is very similar to the Minecraft style, but kind of has a sci-fi feel to it, which is something I really enjoy, and I like the graphics in this a lot. It is multiplayer. You can do either PvP or co-op, but you can also play single player, which is what we're going to do in this particular series, and she is getting impatient. My character evidently is getting impatient with me. You can play it for free, so for those of you that aren't familiar with it, I would definitely recommend trying it out for free and seeing if you like it. There is a, what in the world? There is a pro version for $19.99, which I will be playing that version for a number of reasons. You get the ability to make multiple worlds, you get a glider, you get a flashlight, which is what we're going to be using in our dark cave exploration so everybody can see. You get extra backpack slots, and in their store, you get reduced prices. So, as you could see, my character had a lovely unicorn outfit, but they also have like a bunny suit. They have different glider wings and different things you can buy there. You also have bundles of items you can purchase. You can pick up coins, purchase the coins through their store, and then redeem the coins in their store itself. So my character has a unicorn outfit with very colorful unicorn outfit. And of course, you can customize your character, but we're not going to get into all that today because we want to play. So, I had a name for this world I was going to create, and it just went bleh, like right out of my brain. Why? I guess we're going to find another one. I'm using the fantasynamegenerators.com, and I'm trying to find something I can pronounce. It would be helpful. All right, let's see. No, not that one. Babbagar, there you go. That'll work. So we're going to hit play, and we're going to create a world. This is kind of my play on my own kind of world right here. As I mentioned, it is multiplayer. There are a number of public worlds that you can join. You can claim your own land blocks and build. So there are a number of public worlds you can join. There's also adventures, which I haven't really gotten into much yet, and hope to in a future video. So let's go to my worlds. We're going to create a new world. What did I say I was going to call it? Babbagar. There we go. Not going to worry about a description. I'm not going to make this public world. So you can have a public world where people can freely come and go. If you do want to do a multiplayer world with just your friends, you can password protect your world as well. Obviously, I'm not going to do that here and let y'all see what my password is. So here's a number of settings for the world. There's a lot of customization here. You can have just passive creatures if you like. You can disable explosives. If you want a public world but you don't want, you know, a lot of griefing where people will explode buildings and fire, and yes, we all know people like that exist. You can disable all that as well. We're just going to stick with a fresh start and double treasure because treasure chests are always fun. I'm going to show you the basic skybox, which is just what the nighttime sky looks like. Combat difficulty, let's keep it at normal. I don't think it's the normal difficulty is all that difficult. Haha. Hush, Maggie. And then we'll just keep everything else the way it is. And so now we are going to Babbagar. So this video is mostly just to what I think is the best way to set yourself up for your first night in game. So this is kind of a survival game. As you can see here as we're loading, there are monsters or mobs or baddies. You'll probably hear me call them baddies a lot. Now let's see where the game puts me. At some point, it's going to load. I hear it loading, but the actual screen's not loading. Anyway, here we go. Oh, I am on top of a tree. Look at that. My goodness. It will just put you anywhere. This works. Alright, so this is Creativerse. It is a blocky style game. Like I said, very similar to Minecraft, where you mine resources, you build, you can farm, you can kill baddies. There's all kinds of things. So instead of using like your hand to punch a tree or punch grass or whatever you're doing, you have this funky little glove on your right arm, which again is part of the whole sci-fi feel to this. So you're actually pulling the blocks to you rather than using tools or using your hand. So I'm just pulling these leaf blocks. And then of course it tells you what you're pulling. We are also going to, and occasionally when you're pulling the leaves, you can also get a sapling to plant. You also have these. If you hover over the block, it will tell you there at the bottom center what block it is. This is a red flower block. So you have your hot bar down there. Your red bar is of course your health, which doesn't go down over time. You don't have to eat to keep that up. That only goes down if you get injured. And then the yellow is your stamina bar. Alright, so when I start off in a world, there are certain things I like to get for my first night in order to be able to really get started crafting and be a little more efficient. Now the first thing we're going to do, is try, nope, we landed hard. Oh well, that's fine. Okay, so similar to Minecraft, you want to start by pulling some wood blocks. On these white trees, which are ashenwood trees, you also have moss, which you want to pull, I'd say about 5 blocks of that, because you're going to want to make some torches when you start out. So you also want to pull the wood blocks. One thing, if you pull, like if I sit here and pull all these blocks for this tree, it's not going to disintegrate over time. Like all the leaves and stuff aren't going to aren't going to fall, and the tree's not going to disintegrate. So here are some of our passive creatures. Instead of, this is of course a fantasy world, so instead of your cows and your pigs, you have some unique little creatures. This is my most loved creature in all of gaming, the lovely Pigsy, which is super awesome. It's adorable. Its little stubby tail reminds me of my cat Annie. So, alright, so we have pulled some wood blocks. As I was saying, I can pull all of this. I could pull, well, might as well. If you plan on staying in an area and you don't like seeing just random trees like this just sitting here, I would recommend just pulling bits and pieces of wood from the trees and just not pulling the entire tree. So you can hop up and put blocks underneath you. You want to right click as you jump with the spacebar. You also want to collect some beeswax if you can find it, which is of course those yellow honeycomb pieces, and you can kind of see them scattered through the trees as we go along. Anyway, as you can see, this is not going to disintegrate. This will stay like this forever. So generally if I'm in an area I'm going to stay in, I'll just pull, like, because some of these are just massive trees, as you can see. I'll just pull a little bit off around the edges of the tree, which I guess is kind of like sustainable and such, so actually kind of works out. If you don't want to ravage all the trees. There. There we go. Alright, so we have wood blocks, we have moss. You also want to find some of these little red mushrooms. Most of the time you are going to generate in a kind of green biome like this. So most of this material will be available to you. I'm going to pull a few dirt blocks. I would recommend doing that. Just I like having them, like if I have to jump up to a certain point or something, they're really handy to have. Now, this is cragwood, this darker wood. The green blocks on this wood are vines. You do want to pull some of those as well. You're going to use vines a lot in crafting. You're going to use beeswax a lot in crafting. We are going to probably hack away at this tree to get all these little vines. Now, one of the reasons I've always hesitated on recording and gaming is that I'm one of those completionist types that's like, I've got to get all the vines and all the things. And I have to school myself not to do that. Now, these are ifs. There's lettuce, there's turnips, and horned melons, I believe, that grow wild in the woods. If you find them and you plan to farm, I would pick those up because you can use those later to generate seeds. You also want to pick up some of these flowers, like I showed earlier. The red flower. There's also a yellow flower that generates in these trees. And there is a beeswax up there, but that is awful high. I don't know if I want to go that high, because that's going to require me going at, yeah, let's not do that. I wouldn't say beeswax is like a necessary, but on your first night, but it's a nice to have. Now your passive creatures here during the day, like your little pigsies here, they will not attack you unless you attack them. You also have these, which are leafies. Again, passive creatures. You, depending on how you like to play the game, there may be times that you need to kill a few leafies and a few pigsies in order to get leather, which we will need for armor at some point. But you can also tame them and farm them, so to speak, so that you can get that material without having to actively kill them. Now your baddies, now let's see if we can find, let me see. We need some stone at some point, and then I would like to find a little more beeswax, and then I think we will be ready. Isn't this pretty? Ooh, we've got a beach over here too. I have to go take a look at that. These red mushrooms are going to be your health generation at the start of the game. You're going to also use them to make your basic health potions to start with. So what you do there is you put them in your hotbar, you highlight them, and then you right click to eat one. Now the thing is, they will take a while to, it takes a bit, and you can see the timer there to, I see some beeswax, I think. Oh, it was on the other side. You have to wait for the timer to go back before you can eat another one. And they do give you a fair amount of health. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this. When you're getting beeswax, as we just got, occasionally you will get a queen bee block, which you can put on top of green leaves and actually get some beeswax that way as well. It's not super often you get them, but we're going to get a few more vines, then we're going to go looking for some stone. Now your day ends pretty late. How much moss do we have? I want a few more moss blocks too. There. I would say you probably want to do about 5 to start with on the moss. Vines, I'd say about 10. Well, there's some more beeswax. Easily accessible. There's not a fishing pole in this game. I would like to see a fishing pole. At least I don't think there's a fishing pole. And then we will grab this here. I'll grab another mushroom. Okay, now we're going to go searching for some stone. And here is a cave that will probably have some stone. Perfect. I was actually wondering if this hill here at some point has some stone, but it's not looking like it. Nope. Yep, we'll go explore over there by the beach here in a bit, but alright, so we're going to take a look at this cave. Now, your baddies, of course, are going to be down here in the dark. They generate when it's dark. To activate your craft window, what is going on there? Huh. To activate, whoa. Have to take a look at that here in a minute. To activate your craft, sorry. To activate your craft window, you want to hit Q. And we can craft some moss torches, which is where your wood and your moss is going to come in handy. So I'm going to craft. You get 8 for each batch, so we crafted that many. Now to move stuff in your hotbar to your backpack, you just click that item in your hotbar and then you put what you want there. Alright, so we're going to, now normally I would just place a torch as I'm going down here. There's some brown mushrooms. But if you notice, you're not getting a lot of light. Whoa. Is that a drop off? That looks like a drop off. No. See, you're not getting a whole lot of light here. So, moss torches, the very first type of torch you can make, do not give off a lot of light. So we are going to use the flashlight, which is L, so that everybody can see. Alright. So down we go for some stone. Like I said, this is where we're probably going to run into some baddies. Now, your combat style, you will know them when you see the mobs. They are fluorescent colored. You can actually see one right there, kind of in the distance. When you enter combat mode, you have to use tab to do so. And it will put you into third person mode, which I'm not a huge fan of, personally. So I might change that in my options later, but I am going to show you guys what it looks like to start with. Now, you can jump up 2 blocks instead of just the 1 in this game. So keep that in mind when you are down and about. We're going to keep pulling some stone here. This might actually be where we set up shop for the first night. So there are some different ways you can kind of create a shelter for your first night. You can dig a hole in the ground and stay in the hole. You can you can stay on a treetop, and I don't believe there's any mobs that can like crawl up trees in this game. But you want to make sure to thoroughly light the top of the tree, otherwise you will have mobs generate. And you can also do like a little, you can build a little house with your wood and everything. I prefer to just kind of stick in a cave like this. Oh, see, here comes one now. He is lit up. So I hit tab to enter combat mode. I try to back up and go back in. When he hugs himself like that, he's getting ready for like his power hit, so you want to avoid that if possible. Now keep in mind here at the beginning, you don't have any armor, even though it looks like you have stuff on you. F gives you the loot drop bag here, and then you can take off there. So there we go. Now, like I said, even though it looks like I have a sword and armor and stuff, I don't really have anything to start off with in the game. So I'm going to eat a mushroom. And we're going to go ahead and set up shop here, because I want to be able to iron. I want to be able to mine these coal resources. So we're going to go ahead and build we're going to do a hidey hole cave. Make sure nothing's sneaking up on me. The rocksters, as that was called, you can hear them coming usually, but your feral pixies, your other creatures are a lot quieter, so you have to be careful. I don't think we have anything explosive here, like a creeper in this game. I don't believe so. So I am just doing a very, very basic little hidey hole area. So your nights are pretty short in the game. Like I said, it hits night, quote unquote, about, let's see here. It hits nighttime about 8 or 9 p.m. and then by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you have, I hear something. Let's throw down a few more torches. Probably would be to our benefit. Because even though I have the flashlight and I can see, the dark areas that aren't lit by a torch are definitely mob generator areas. Or baddies, that is. Okay. So we'll just light up our immediate area, and we'll go through all these different little blocks and such here shortly. Okay, so I have my little area. We're going to hit Q to go to the bag, and I am going to toss some stone. I have gotten a lot of stone. I'll toss some stone there into my hotbar so that we can go ahead and start closing this off. I wonder if I can go ahead and generate a door. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Alright, so we are going to stick a couple torches in here. Oh, not there. Now let me turn off the flashlight, and like you can see here how little light those torches actually give off. Now when we mine this ore here though, we will get some coal, and with the coal we will be able to make better torches. So I'm going to take a look at, this is the crafting menu, which I should have mentioned earlier. You have your glove, which is called a mining cell in the game, and there are different types. And then you have your crafting tools, which we'll talk about in a minute. You have your different armor, your weapons, furniture, all kinds of cool things. So what we're going to look for is a door. Here's your basic wood door in the game, and that uses vines, beeswax, and any type of wood that you happen to have. So we're going to craft a door. So we can stick a door right here. You hit F is the key you use to pretty much interact with everything in the game. So there we go. There's our door. Now let's go ahead and get started with our basic. Yeah, that's too dark. Let's stick the flashlight. Let's make sure we got our flashlight on. Alright. So the crafting table of sorts for this game is the processor, and that is under the crafting tools part of the craft menu. That is here. Use combination of wood, stone, and vines to create your processor. And this is going to unlock a lot of recipes. So one of the neat things I like about Creativerse, you see this little checkbox here. It says hide locked recipes. If I uncheck it, a whole bunch of new items pop up in gray. Now what these are items that you can unlock by crafting other items that are already available. So here's a flower pot. I have to forge adobe bricks, craft an obsidian mining cell, and craft an adobe wall in order to unlock this flower pot. And there are a number of items that you can do that with. Of course, when we crafted the processor, we unlocked a lot of recipes. So because this is such a long menu, I'm just going to go ahead and check that so you guys, if I'm looking for something specific, I'll unlock it then. But you can look by category. You also have a search menu too if you need to look for anything. Alright, so we have made our processor, and we are going to go ahead and place that down. This is what your menu looks like here. It takes the items that are in your backpack that you can process and just shows those. So like I mentioned, farming, as you pick up different types of vegetables and seeds, the vegetables you can process into seeds using the processor. Vines you could turn into twine. If you hover over each item, it shows what you can generate. Now we are going to generate some slabs, because in order to get the coal we need an extractor, and there's different types you can craft. The very first one though is one that requires stone slabs and wood slabs. So we are going to craft some stone slabs and some wood slabs. Take what I said and reverse it. There are also stone rods and wood rods, which I may go ahead and do a few of those as well, because both the slabs and the rods you will use a lot in crafting. So it's always handy, in my opinion, to just have stuff crafting as you go along. So while we wait on that, we are also going to craft ourselves a wood sword, which is vines and wood. Now when you craft a weapon or a piece of armor for the first time, it automatically equips in your little equipment area here. But if I craft like the next one up, which is a stone sword later, I will have to manually replace that. So keep that in mind. Alright, so we have that. Now let's take a look at our processor. We got our slabs. Now we can make our extractors. So I'm going to make 3 extractors. Now, one of the things I'm going to do before we open this door, since we are already hitting nighttime, and of course more of the aggressive mobs generate at night, on the hotbar down here, in place 1, in item 1, area 1, whatever, it is the touchstone, and you start off with this with every game. And once you get a safe place, you want to place that down. If you die, you will resurface here rather than where you first generated in the game. You also can use it along with teleporters to move between different places. As you set those up, you can create kind of a network. When you're in a multiplayer world, you also use these. You can visit other players' houses using these touchstones. You can either lock it down or allow them to travel there. So, but like I said, you want to make sure you have a safe place like this before you set that down. If you look at the top center, there's also a compass. And you can see a little graphic that looks like the touchstone. If you're out and about and you get confused about where you're at, that will always show you the direction of your touchstone. So you should be able to find your way back pretty easily. Now, we are going to get our extractors and we're going to put them here. Where are we at on time? Okay, yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Alright, so we got our extractors down here. Now, I'm going to open this door and hope nothing's out here at the moment. Doesn't look like it. Oh, oh! Pigsies! Back up. You think we can take them? I think we can take them. We can use some leather. There were 2. Oh, that third-person combat's killing me. Like I said, I think in the next episode, there were 2. There you are! Those are like little pigsies. Oh, we got a pork chop with that one too. There is some cooking in the game. You don't necessarily have to do it. But anyway. Oh, and there's another one. We can definitely use the leather we're going to get from these guys, so that's one of the reasons. And they're smaller, so they're easy to take. Alright, so you're going to right click with your extractor on those, and it's going to start working on the ores. If you hit F, it'll show you the time remaining, and it'll show you how many ores it's extracting. And you can take them as they come along, or just wait till they all get done. Now, the higher level extractors will move faster, and they will extract more ore. But since we are limited in what items we have right now, we will just stick with the basic extractors. Alright. So, we have... what are we going to do next? Now that we have some coal, we can make some coal torches. And that involves the wood rods that we crafted and coal. So we're going to craft 4 of those. While that is busy, I am going to show you the difference in these torches. So let's turn the flashlight off. Here's what one moss torch looks like in here. You see, okay, but not great. Now, of course, complete dark. Other than this, I love the glowing stuff in the game. Here is the coal torch. Huge difference in light. Huge difference. If the cave was completely lit up in coal torches, I could probably just use those. But again, for the sake of allowing everybody to see, we're going to make sure we keep that flashlight on. Alright, so where are we at on our extractors? Are they done? Coal moves pretty quickly. So we are good there. Oh, no, that is a leafy. He is not glowing in the dark, so he is... this dude's passive. Alright, so we'll pop back in here. What else do we want to craft here? Let's work on our mining cells. So when you start out, like I said, even though it looks like you have a sword and armor and a mining cell on, you don't really have any of that. You still have to craft your armor and your weapons and your mining cells. And as you place them, if you customize your character, you won't see them on your character. You'll see the original outfit you chose, but they are there. So this time we do want to craft a basic mining cell because some blocks require higher level mining cells, kind of like different types of pickaxes for Minecraft. So here we have plenty of stone, mushroom, coal, and flour. If they have little blue arrows, that means you can substitute other items that you happen to have. But we do need a few more wood slabs for this. So again, I would recommend always ABC, always be crafting. Oh my gosh, that was so dumb. Anyway, I should always be crafting, especially the wood slabs and stone slabs when you first start out. So now we have enough for a stone mining cell. So we're going to craft it, and it's going to go ahead and equip. So we have that, which is cool because now we can pull other types of rock. So this is limestone that has this little, has the lines here. I keep hearing growling. It's probably that leafy. So this is limestone. And then you also have bedrock. Yeah, it is that leafy, which is kind of got this pinkish look on the side, and then like a smoother looking top than regular stone. You can also pull magnetite, which you will also be using for crafting. So that is a good resource. Yeah, for some reason you pull the magnetite blocks instead of using extractors. I still am not 100% sure why, but whatever. So we've done that. When you do find ore, like the coal or whatever, usually if you find one, there will be more. And in this case, there were 3. But just keep that in mind when you find one. There's usually at least one behind it. So let's dig down in here a little bit and see what else we got real quick. Well, that is a pigsy. And let me go ahead and use my moss torches. Oh, and here comes a mob. Oh, and that is a 3 block. So we're going to hop back up. It was trying. Alright, so let's get in our combat mode. Let's take out some baddies. I don't know what that error was. Oh, there's one. Alright, let me get a mushroom going. You always want to be aware of your health bar. Like, in this case, I have more than one coming. Whoop. And we want to back up, because a little too close for comfort. I forgot to craft health potions, which we can craft. Haha. I can get him through the door. Well, that works too. Alright. We'll craft some health potions once we pick up our mob stuff here. Now these rockster rock and the leather you're going to get from like the pigsies and stuff, you will be using for your first set of armor. So keep that in mind. Ooh, we're getting a lot of monsters here. Okay. This is kind of cheating. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, what you gonna do? Alright. Rockster rocks and leather are definitely needed for in the mornings. Now, these little leafies growl like that, and it just drives me crazy because it sounds like there's something like significantly going on. Oh, there's some more loot drops. Like I said, all this leather will be used. We're probably gonna work on our armor at the start of the next episode. For now, we're just gonna... Oh, that is a Miru. We are not gonna mess with Miru today. We are not ready for Mirus. They do not glow in the dark. They do look pretty creepy, though. Not gonna lie. So we are gonna go back to our little hidey hole. Look at all the stuff we got. We got all kinds of leather. We got some bone. We got some rockster rocks. Now, all those will be used in armor, which we are going to work on the next episode. I think, for this episode, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I wanted this one, you hit tab to go back to first person mode, so. Anyway, I wanted this first episode to be basically how to survive your first night as efficiently as possible. So, so that is what we have done. And I think we're going to end this here. The next episode, we are going to get some of our armor going, see if we can go ahead and equip ourselves fully, graduate up to a stone sword. We're going to take a little peek down in the a little more peek into the cave. We might start thinking about what our first little home's gonna be. So I think that's what we're gonna cover in the next one. And keep in mind, again, your health doesn't automatically generate over time. You do have to manually generate it through usually food or potions. And we're also going to generate some health potions in the next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like I said, something a little different for me, but I have a lot of fun with these. We're going to go ahead and... I'm having a ton of fun with this game. I'm not really coloring all that much, so I wanted to record, so I figured I would record with gaming instead of coloring. Now, one quick thing before we finish this up. This is a live game, meaning it runs live in terms of timing, so you can't pause the game. If you have to, like, I would suggest if you have to go, like, to the bathroom or go do something and come back, you either get yourself in a safe little hidey hole like this, where nothing can get you, and just leave it, or just go ahead and leave the world and then you can pop back in. But of course, we're going to go ahead and leave. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really excited about these and looking forward to doing some different things, and we'll do some different games in the future as well, but for now I'm going to stick with Creativerse. So hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.